Yeah, thought I'd make a little video, like an update video on why it's been taking me so long to upload like videos of drifting and everything in the Z here. And I'm having like some fuel pump problems, I think. Right today I'm gonna check my fuel filters and fuel regulator to see if they're clogged or not, because I have the stock tank, so I would assume that that's probably the problem. But yeah, like it'll bog down when I get up to around 4,500 or 5,000 RPMs is what it sounds like, and can't really figure out what the problem was. I had it scanned. It said I had a problem up in the mass air, up to do with like the mass airflow, so I took that up. There's a little wire in there that was cut from kind of touching the belt, because I have a little plastic weak intake. So I fixed that. I had the ECU cleared, or the check engine light cleared, or whatever you want to say, and the problem was still there, so I assumed it was it. So I brought it back and got it scanned again. That wasn't the problem. So I started reading around, and people were saying that it could be a weak fuel pump or a clogged fuel filter. So today I'm going to do that. And yeah, since the last video I haven't really done much drifting or anything like that because of that. I mean, like, I'll play with the hydro here. Like, I'll be cruising around and I'll just give it a little slide once in a while. But I have some control arms, some 2-inch. I have 2-inch extended control arms coming. I got everything all set up, and I have this guy here in Palm Springs who's a welder, does custom work or whatever. So I had him weld everything up, and he still got it back at his place. I'm gonna do like a 2-day kind of video thing here. I mean, like, for the video it won't be anything, but yeah. So I'll show you guys that in this video here. I got some of the stuff back here, like the tubing. I guess you can't see it from there. Have the mounts here. I'm going to cut this in half and use this for a chassis mount for the tension arm. But since then I installed this LED light bar, little old ghetto thing here. My uncle gave it to me for free. I had some old wire laying around. Just ran the wire from there, power ground, ran it up through here, ran it up through there, and then I ran another wire down through here for the toggle switch. The power ran it in through here. So I got the toggle switch sitting in there, so that works. It's not too bright. It's not too bad of an LED light. I mean, like, I wrapped it with purple tint, first thing I've ever wrapped, and it's wrapped like shit, but that's whatever. I don't mind it, as long as I had some light in here. I was just tired of having light. This is the only light I have, and it only comes on when I have the key turned on there. So yeah, I have they patched, the guys who did the patching on the car for me and everything, but the trunk, the wheel well in here, there's no drain, and it rained the other day, and my trunk, all right, the weather stripping and everything leaks up in through here somewhere, probably through around here. But so there's water in there, so I'm going to drill a hole in that, and then I'm going to check my fuel pressure and everything. The hole all drilled, or whatever you want to say. But I also had some guys messaging me on I commented on the last video, and they were saying that they wanted to know my spring rates, and I'm not too sure on the spring rates. I didn't really check. I just wanted like the cheapest coilovers I can get, and they were like 1,400. Now they got coilovers for like 800 bucks with like rear camber plates and stuff like that. Like, I wish that they had that when I was searching for it like 2 years ago or whatever. But yeah, I don't know the spring rates. They're D2 RS coilovers, so you can look it up on the site if you really wanted to know. But I have the dampening and everything set to, like, I think it was like, I don't know, I think I said it in the last video, I forgot now, it's been a while, but they're pretty stiff. They don't like have much play to them. That's how I like it. And then my girl was also going to throw this black carpet away. She didn't really want it anymore, so thought I'd snag it and maybe pull my seats and everything and throw it in there. I know it'll be a mission to cut all the shapes and everything. I'll probably have to just pull the hydro out and leave this, make a little slit in the carpet so it'll fit in there. I don't know. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'm gonna do that too. And these side view mirrors, like, they're garbage, man. Don't get them. They're not worth the money. Get real ones. They somebody bumped them one day, and there's like plastic on the inside of them, and that broke, and so there was like swinging all over. So I just drilled a hole and threw a metal screw through there to hold them both sides. So they're more stout than they were when I first got them, but that's whatever. Asking me about how the hydro works. I know a lot of you guys probably already know, but my hydro is all up in there. You guys have seen that there, and so that there's like the factory brake line on that side,
and then they cut it and ran a line from the hydro to that, and then back up into the hydro, and then out to the back line here, and that's where it's tapped right there. This is like the factory brake line in the front. They just cut a section out. You could do it a lot different than this. Like, they just kept it up and out of the way. There's the fuel rails. I mean, not the fuel rails, the frame rails there. Crappy patch job. The people who I got the car from before had that done. There's the exhaust. I don't think I've ever showed you guys the exhaust. It's pretty nice. I like the way it sounds. I'll show you guys the sound of it again in a second, in a minute. Asking me about how the hydro works. I know a lot of you guys probably already know, but my hydro is all up in there. You guys have seen that there, and so that there's like the factory brake line on that side, and then they cut it and ran a line from the hydro to that, and then back up into the hydro, and then out to the back line here, and that's where it's tapped right there. This is like the factory brake line in the front. They just cut a section out. You could do it a lot different than this. Like, they just kept it up and out of the way. There's the fuel rails. I mean, not the fuel rails, the frame rails there. Crappy patch job. The people who I got the car from before had that done. There's the exhaust. I don't think I've ever showed you guys the exhaust. It's pretty nice. I like the way it sounds. I'll show you guys the sound of it again in a second, in a minute. The control arms that I'm building are going to be they're built out of, it's 120 wall by 1.25 inch. I have this stuff here for the tension arm part. I got the control arm section all welded up and ready. I'll show you guys that in a bit, but yeah, I still need to measure out the distance between the control arm and the chassis mount that I gotta make. I have to have the control arms to do that though. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I already checked the bottom, make sure there was nothing on the other side of this here. So I know it's not the best drill or whatever, but I left my actual drill in storage because I don't have all my tools yet. So this is where the water's building up, obviously. Just gonna let this go through here. Obviously it's all jacked up now, so I'm just gotta, the fuel pump's mounted in the factory location. I guess this is where it was normally put, but I'm gonna pull this off and check that 3/8 bolt to plug the fuel line off. So I'm probably gonna get pretty nasty. I'm gonna check the fuel pressure regulator here. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's one of these so I don't have to buy a new pump, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I might have to buy a whole new pump. Looks like my diff is probably leaking some oil. That's pretty sweet. And, yeah, I'm gonna get to that. The fuel filter off here, and some not too nice looking stuff came out of the tank side. Luckily the fuel pump side fuel looked pretty clean. That was falling out, but it flows freely from both ends, and I'm not too sure if that's how it's supposed to be though. Both sides are flowing freely, so I'm not too sure about that. I'm gonna read a little bit more about it. I'm sure a lot of you guys know, and they're probably gonna think that I'm a dumbass, but it's whatever. I'm learning here, I guess you can say. Actually, I'm not gonna get that taken care of today, the tension arm distance and all that stuff. I gotta go to work in a little bit here, so I'm gonna actually I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll hook the camera up out there to see if it'll act up for you guys. But yeah, I'm about to get going here to work here in a little bit. From first to second gear. Normally doesn't let me hit the rev limiter, so I think it is that fuel filter. So I'm gonna pull that fuel filter out and definitely change that up. Hopefully this cop behind me didn't just see me with the GoPro in my hand. Like, I don't know if you can record and drive. Like, you can't text and drive here in Palm Springs, but it's whatever. So yeah, I'm pulled pretty good. I'll get a few skids in maybe tomorrow. I was gonna do that today, but there's some cops up at this parking lot that I usually go to go
do some skids in or whatever. But yeah, that's it for today. I'll record a little bit tomorrow. It'll be the same video, but you guys get it. I never did ever finish up a review or like a finished product or whatever on my hydro here. Like I did a review on it. You guys can check it out in one of my other videos. But this section of the hydro here was bending out just from this being like a too thin of a wall. So I took the plate off. I took it off, measured, drew like an outline of it, and then I cut it out on a chunk of metal like this, and then I put it on there and welded it, and I just got longer bolts, longer hardware, welded it in and cleaned it up. I haven't painted it yet, obviously, because it's a little bit of surface rust here, but it's wiping off just with my fingers. But yeah, it works fucking good. Like, this shit locks up with fucking ease. It's sick. I like it. It was only like 70 bucks on eBay. And then this was free. I already had a piece of metal and I already had a welder, so I just did that. But yeah, that works pretty good. Pretty satisfied with a little eBay here. eBay comes in clutch once in a while. I'm pretty sure that was the problem with my car bogging down, was that my fuel pump was clogged. Because when I pulled it out and I poured it, you could just see like dirty fuel coming from the tank side before the fuel pump. So I'm pretty sure that was a problem, because now my fuel pump is like quiet. Before, when I turn it on, since I have an external, it was already pretty loud. So I didn't remember, like, was it that loud before or whatever. But now it's pretty quiet. It's like really quiet actually. It's like less than half as loud as it was before. So pretty sure that was a thing. But I stopped by and picked up those lower control arms. I have them here. This is what all gonna be. These are them here. They look pretty stout. So these are 2 inches longer than than OEM M length here. But I still gotta figure out the tension rod. I'm gonna bring the tension rod in to about right here or so, and then I got some metal here that I'm gonna use the good sections, this good side here for a brace. I'm gonna run another 1/4 inch tube from here to the chassis, and then I'm gonna use that metal there for like an extra brace here, like put a little plate in there. I don't know, but that's gonna be coming later in the videos. It's not gonna be in this video. I just wanted to show you guys the progress. I still gotta clean this up so it doesn't look all shitty. But yeah, I'm gonna be making a few sets of these and selling them. I'm not too sure on the price yet, but I'm thinking anywhere between 400 and 500 bucks a set, because there's nobody that makes this. Techno Toy Tuning sells some lower control arms, but the tension rod mounts are like way out here, so you have limited steering angle. Like, your tire will hit the tension arms, and these are I'm trying to design these so they'll give your tire a lot more clearance. Like, I'm shooting for like 50 plus degrees of angle without a tubed front end. Maybe cutting my wheel wells. I don't really care too much about that. Like, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm also thinking about I'm going to stitch weld the inside here. I have a little shitty 170 amp welder that I got from Lowe's for like, I don't know, like 150 or something, but I'm gonna be doing that. So I decided I'd show you guys what I mean by the factory tension rods aren't not very good. See, this is like almost stock. The only thing I have is these aftermarket tie rods. They're a little bit shorter right there than the OEM style. The OEM style have a little more threads, but you can chop the little bit of threads off to get more steering angle out of your stock Z. But I'm just gonna sleeve these outer tie rods 2 inches. Just gonna chop it and then throw some sleeve over and get that welded. But yeah, see, this is full lock right now on what I have, and my goal, not my goal, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this tension rod from all the way out here. I'm gonna bring the angle from here to about here, so obviously it'll be from, just go straight that way like that, and then you'll give it a lot more steering angle out of the OEM style, or not the OEM style, out of the control arms that I'm building. So yeah, they're gonna be work with factory ball joints. It'll bolt right in, be stout, give you a lot of tire clearance. And I'm gonna be making a custom lengths too. Like, if you guys want like 1 inch or whatever, then 1 inch extended control arms, that's fine. I'm going 2 because I want to do it as much as I can. But yeah, that's what I'm figuring out right now. I think I'm gonna wrap this video up though, because it's getting pretty dark. So yeah, here in PS. But yeah, just go ahead and give me a follow here if you want to see more videos on the Z. I'm gonna be posting a lot more drift videos and shit. I know I said that the last time, but I wasn't expecting to have so much trouble on figuring out what was going on with my car here. I had it like because the ECU was coming up clear every time, so I was really fucking confused on it. I knew I should have just checked the fuel pressure after. Not new, but I mean, I really should have checked that first instead. I did check it, and it had perfect fuel pressure, but once it got really high in the RPMs, it would bog down. So I was just going to change the pump, but luckily I checked the filter first. I know that's the first place I should have checked, but it's whatever. But yeah, just go ahead and give me a follow, and if you want to see more of the Z, thanks for watching.